Hello again and welcome to another Know Thy Foe video. Today's video will be the third installment in the bullshit chaos things you are likely to face. Top tier sort of chaos armies. The first video I did in this series was talking about poxwalkers and how easily they can be abused. And then sort of the poxwalker apocalypse doom army. That's probably one of the weaker ones, to be honest. The second is still very powerful, but it's one of the weaker, most powerful ones you can face from Chaos. Second one we talked about was the big bullshit Nurgle Trees of Doom, which are the Nurgle trees, which are fortifications, so you can't destroy them, and they are really good at buffing all the demons around them. But then it turns out that that also affects the demon engines of Nurgle, like the Blightbringer. And today's unit that we're going to focus on, it's not going to be an army list, it's more going to be focusing on a unit. The reason for this is I haven't yet faced, I tried to give it a few weeks to see if I would get an opportunity to face it, but I haven't. It's more to give you guys a heads up. This is what you're going to start seeing a lot of, okay? So the first two armies have been Nurgle, but now we're going to be looking at Tzeentch. And we're going to be looking at Codex Tzaangors. Oh, sorry, I meant Codex Thousand Suns. But it's not really Codex Thousand Suns, because if you want to take a competitive 1k Suns list, you are not going to be taking Rubric Marines. You will be taking the Tzaangors. Codex Birdmen. Anyway, well, only if you want to be competitive. The Rubrics are still the coolest part of it. But without getting down that argument, which there are many pages on forums dedicated to, let's actually focus on what the issue is here. The unit that we're going to be looking at today is the Enlightened Tzaangors. Now, before I go any further, I just want to say this picture that you're seeing today, it's not one of mine. It was sent in by one of my loyal subscribers, and I thought it was really cool, really fitted this sort of not Nurgle, chaos theme I've been going for with these videos. And I just want to say thank you to whoever sent this in to me. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name right now. I did have it written down. I can't find the piece of paper. But thank you so much for sending this picture. It's actually really cool. You guys, anyone else who wants to send me in some cool pictures they've got of their army, please send them in, and I'll pick some of the best ones and I'll use them in some of these, some of my videos. Okay, I'll stick to mostly my pictures. But, you know, if I get absolutely loads of really cool ones, I'll be more than happy to put them up. And if it is your picture, just shout down in the comments, and I'll put you in the description if you want me to, if you want some credit. That goes for artwork as well. I'm more than happy if you guys have got some really good artwork, and I'm more than happy to that you want to show off. I'm more than happy to throw it up there and put your name in the credits. Okay? But yeah, anyway, let's not get. I should have said that at the beginning of the video. I just got a little bit excited about the whole Tzaangor thing. So, speaking of Tzaangors, let's get back on track. We're going to be looking at the Enlightened Tzaangors. I believe that is their name. Let me just get a good old look at the unit right now. They are an elite choice. And they are called... Oh no... Where are you? Sorry, they are a fast attack choice. Okay, so essentially these are Tzaangors that are on floating discs. Now what that essentially makes them is jet bikes. Okay, and because of that, that means they're actually quite tough to kill. They've got multiple wounds. They hit pretty well as it is, and they get a 5+ invuln save because they're demons. They also, because they're on the bikes, have got the fly keyword, which means you can never stop them from shooting. One way or another, these things are always going to be shooting at you. Now, they have several different weapon options, but the only one that we really care about is their bows. Now, I know it sounds stupid, bringing bows and arrows to a gunfight, but somehow these bows and arrows are better than actually actual guns. Which, yes, is stupid. So, it is, I believe, the Fate Caster Greatbow. Okay? Now, these weapons are 24 inches, Assault 2, Strength 5, AP -1, Damage 1. Okay? Now, the thing about this is that's basically like 2 heavy bolter shots. 24-inch range, assault bolter shots. That's pretty good, right? Yeah, that's pretty good. The thing is with these Tzaangor Enlightened is that if they roll a 6+ to hit, then they automatically wound. Now some of you might be saying 6+, it's not a big deal. It's, you know, it's not such a huge problem. Well, problem is that this can be very easily increased. You see, the elite choice that I was talking about before is the Tzaangor Shaman. Now, the Tzaangor Shaman is only 90 points, and he comes with a pretty impressive stat line. He's got 4 wounds, and the usual, he can do some psychic powers and stuff, but we don't really care about that kind of stuff. What he does is he buffs Tzaangor units within 6 inches of him. Okay? And that is +1 to all their hit rolls. Which means that if you roll a 5 to hit, 5+ to hit, then you will automatically wound. Now that's pretty crazy. That's automatic wounds of a -1 to -1 armor save. Now this gets even crazier when you take into account that you can then also use things like prescience, because prescience gives you another +1 to hit, and that means that you are automatically wounding things on a 4+ to hit. So if you take a whole load of these things, you can really just spam automatic wounds. You can really spam automatic wounds. There are other ways of buffing them. Like I said, I haven't had a full chance to really get to grips with that. I haven't been on the receiving end of it. But there's lots of ways how you can get rerolls to hit on them. You know, you can get reroll 1s to hit at the very least from various characters. Like most characters, like Demon Prince for example, that should be giving you +1 rerolling 1s to hit, which will make a huge difference. And some of you might be thinking, well, what's such a big deal about these guys, right? Well, what you've got to understand is that they're going to be hitting on, I believe it's 4s basic. Okay? Okay, that's not too bad. But if they're within range of one of their sorcerers, and their sorcerers are cheap enough to spam, remember, then they're going to be hitting on 3+ anyway. Okay, so you know, if you take a big unit of these things, then you'll be having a part of your army automatically wounding on a 4+. But just because on a 4+ to hit, but that still means you pretty much your entire army is armed with heavy bolters. So even if, let's say you take a whole load of these guys, take 50 of them or 60 of them, even without prescience, that means you're getting 20 automatic wounds a turn. That's AP -1. That's 10 wounds that the enemy is going to fail, more than likely. 50-50 chance. Most of the time, most units have a 3+ armor save, don't they? Now, that's just the automatic wounds that these guys can do. Then you take into account that, well, hang on a second, the other sort of 30 shots I'm going to hit with, there's still 30 heavy bolter shots. That's pretty crazy. That's, you know, against infantry, that's absolutely going to shred loads of them. And against vehicles, you're still wounding on 5s. That's perfectly acceptable. That's still another 10 wounds. So from 50 of these guys, you're doing 20 wounds. You think about it. Am I even working? I know they've got 2 shots each. If you have 50, sorry, my mistake. Let's look at this. If you've got 60 of them, just let's make the math easier in my old poor brain. If you've got 60 of these things, that's 120 shots. Okay. Now a third of those will automatically wound. Sorry. So that's 30 wounds. Automatically done. Because they get 2 shots each. So that's 30 automatic wounds. And you haven't even buffed them up to a 4+, that's just on a 5+. And that doesn't then stop you from hitting with another, what? You were hitting with a third of them. Sorry, I'm being stupid. Is it hitting with the brain hurty? Sorry. 33% of your wounds of your hits are gonna automatically wound. That's 40 automatic wounds, isn't it? And then the other 40 are just regular hits. Sorry, yeah. My brain no worky, guys. Long day at work. My mistake. So if you take 60 of these things, that's 120 shots, that's 40 automatic wounds, and 40 other hits that you still get a chance to wound on. Then if you've got reroll 1s, which is more than possible, you're going to be sprinkling some extra goodness on top. So we are still looking at sort of like 50 wounds from 60 of these things. That's absolutely insane. And like I said, that can be boosted by rerolling 1s to hit. That can be boosted by giving a whole big blob of them +1 to hit. So you've got loads of rerolls going on. And the worst thing is about these guys is that they're relatively cheap. I know a guy who already has 80 of these things. Now I don't know for sure, but probably most of them are China cast, or I think he's begged, borrowed and stealed from every Age of Sigmar player that he knows. But he's got 80 of these things. And then he's got a few regular Tzaangors to act as a screen. I mean, even if he gets turn 1 charge, doesn't matter, he can fly away. But it's just so he doesn't get turn 1 charge, he can screen with his Tzaangors. And he's basically taking 70 or 80 of these things. Enough, about 3 or 4, I think 3 Demon Princes. And like 3 or 4 Demon Princes, 3 or 4 Shamans, and then enough Tzaangors on top of that to just create a screen. And he's just going to be absolutely... That's all. I can't think of what could really stop that. I'm not kidding you. What could realistically stop that? Because assuming, if they get first turn, they're going to fly forward. They've got 12-inch move. That's 36-inch threat range. I mean, that's 80 shots. That's 160 shots. A third of that, which is like 50, roughly 50, that's 50 automatic wounds straight off the bat. There's another 50 shots, which he has a chance of just regularly wounding with. If he's going against infantry, that's more than likely 3s to wound. That's what another, even being harsh, 30, 25 extra wounds. That's 75 wounds in total from that army. Then he gets the rerolls. Then some of them will be wounding on 2s. Some of them, because you can use Veterans of the Long War. Some of them will be automatically wounding on 4+ because you can use Prescience. It's just crazy. So I don't really want to go... I know this video is a little vague, and I know it's a little rough around the edges. I appreciate that, guys. But it's because I haven't faced this yet. I'm only theory crafting this, so I'm a little bit unsure about how exactly it's going to work. But what I'm trying to do... For if you're a guard player out there who plays competitively, or you are a player out there who displays against Tzeentch regularly, I guarantee your opponent will figure this out at some point. If you go to a tournament, these things are going to be top tier. One of my commenters, his name was just Neil. I can't remember if he had a username. It was just Neil. He was the one that he commented on this already, And this guy, Neil, if you're watching this, you seem like you knew what you were talking about. You definitely had some good knowledge. Probably know more about this kind of stuff than I do. But yeah, so it's already, what I'm trying to get across there is there's already people, it's already uncommon knowledge. What I mean by that is it's not common knowledge. Not everyone doesn't know about it, but it's already permeating into the community. People already know about this shit. Enlightened Tzaangors are going to be absolutely insane. They're going to... It's going to be... If you get first turn against it, as an Imperial Guard player, if you manage to get first turn against it, you got a chance. I mean, these bloody birdmen have got 2 wounds each. But they're not... They've only got like a... They've got a relatively normal save. They've got a 5+ invulnerable demon save. It's not too bad. They can be killed. I don't know what to suggest. I don't know whether to suggest mass infantry or mass tanks. I think the problem with taking mass tanks is they're going to be automatically winning. Your high toughness ain't going to count for anything. It's probably best to accept the fact that they're going to do 100 wounds to you, roughly. Probably about 100 wounds. Nah, that seems quite excessive. What was it? 160 shots. We were saying what, 50? Yeah, they're probably about 75 wounds to you, roughly, give or take 75 to 80 wounds. I think it probably, from my math out, it probably balances out to 1 wound per thing. When you balance it all out with real stuff, it's about 80 wounds. Now you are going to get, with a mixture of cover and stratagems and potentially Aegis defense line. It might be a good chance to get an Aegis defense line just to get a guaranteed cover save. You're going to be able to stop about a third of that damage. If you're able to stop about 20 to 30 wounds. So you're going to lose 50 to 60 infantry easily to this thing. If they go first, you are going to lose 60 infantry. So, and don't forget they've got a 24-inch range, so it's going to be, you're going to struggle to get into rapid fire. If you have turn 1, you will have every one of those things that you kill is an absolute lifesaver, and that's what you've got to say. Just what you've just got to accept, that they're going to do a hell of a lot of damage, and you just need to be able to drop down. You just need to be able to just absorb that punch and then be able to punch back. Scions might be the answer. Okay, anything that can deep strike might be the answer. The reason for this, is, of course, is the fact that they can't be damaged. You might want to take it as a whole load of regular infantry, and then, we're talking you probably want to take something like 200 regular infantry and equip them fairly cheaply. Mass anti-infantry firepower. That's what you're going to need. Heavy bolters, autocannons, whatever. Just mass anti-infantry firepower. And then you want to basically take as many Scions as you can get your hands on. Because remember, you're going to lose potentially 50 to 60 infantry in one go. So you're going to have to accept that. So what you then need to do is take as many Scions as you possibly can and just deep strike them in. Just absolutely. Maybe, my potential recommendation for this, and like I said, I haven't faced yet, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. If you can take something like 200 cheap-ish infantry, and just take a turn 1 punch to the face. Just take that turn 1 punch. Use your turn 1 just to clear away any chaff that exists. Any whatsoever. And then you want to deep strike in. Once you've cleared the chaff away, you want to deep strike in 50 Scions. If possible. I'm spitballing points here, guys. We're talking 40, 50 Scions. And the AP doesn't really matter in the army. It's all that you want, volume of shots. I think, to be honest, you're still going to want plasma, because plasma's great. Plasma does multiple wounds, so you want loads of plasma. You want loads of hotshot lasguns. You want loads of hotshot volley guns. Okay, you just want to deep strike in and just do as much damage as possible. That's how you want to play it. That would be my recommendation, because then your Scions, they can drop in And if you've taken a whole load of plasma and a whole load of volley guns and a whole load of las guns, you can probably clear out 20 to 30 of these things, along with some other, firepower. And because, your plasma guns are going to be, I'd say you probably kill a good 20. Kill a good 20 with your scions alone. 50 scions should be able to kill 20 models, right? Rerolling with a lot of rerolls to hit. And a lot of, not rerolls, reroll ones with orders. Yeah, you should be able to get enough wounds on these things to kill about 20. Some of your other infantry will be able to move up, do some damage there. Once you've broken the back of the list, once you've cleared away those 30 Tzaangors that are chaff, and then you've managed to break about a quarter or a third of these guys, you've been able to kill like 20, 30 of them, I think the list will become more manageable. I think it will. You just got to take that first punch. I think that's the key to surviving the list, because it's going to come at you. It's going to punch the crap out of you. You just got to take it. So, this obviously, from my point of view, has been a theory-crafted list, theory-crafted video. Has anyone out there already faced off against this bullshit? If you have, leave your comments down below. We need to know your tactics. If you beat it, we need to know. If you lost, we need to know what you would have done differently. If you haven't faced it yet, still throw down some theory craft ideas. Am I missing something here? I've been on the Scion train recently. I love my Scions, but I could be wrong. I'm willing to admit that. Scions might be the worst thing. These guys might have some kind of anti-Scion stratagem. I don't know. But leave lots and lots of comments, because this, guys, this is probably not going to get FAQ'd in March. This is probably going to be around for the next 6 months. We need to know how to beat it. Maybe Games Workshop will release an FAQ. Maybe. But we need to know how to beat this. Okay? So, I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know it's been a bit waffly and a bit sort of stream of consciousness-y, but it's just because I haven't got those hard facts to draw upon which I've had in the other videos. This is a relatively emerging level of bullshit that we're seeing here. We're seeing bullshit genesis. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Leave lots of comments as always. Thank you very much for this picture, whichever, my loyal subscriber, my loyal, whoever you are. And of course, I'll see you guys next time.